What's up guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. And today we are talking about that Bitcoin finally has managed to touch or to revisit the 21 weekly moving average, which I'm telling you for I think for months now on this channel that would be very important. And also in my last update, or one of my last updates, I have said that I have changed my mind right here, so that right now the most likely scenario would be that we have just a double bottoming formation and a visit of the 21 weekly moving average, which is what we have done in the last night right here. So you can see that. You can see we have touched the 21 weekly moving average right here, shortly went below it, and then bounced back off very quickly. And in this video, I basically want to show you some updates right here on the buyer index, what potentially could happen next, what is important for me, and also what I am waiting for. And I would say let's get straight into this right here. So the first thing I have already mentioned, that is the 21 weekly moving average, that we have touched that. And also right here, that was basically last night, half an hour before that happened. I have published this update right here on Patreon. You can see that today altcoins and also Bitcoin have seen a little downside action. While I'm writing this, Bitcoin is sitting at $52,600, and as you already can see in the picture, not much has happened so far. We are still pretty exactly at the -10 level in the buyer index. So I will give you 3 updates on the buyer index in this video, so you can reconstruct that in your mind, what has happened over this drop right here. So that is the first update right here. That was before the drop, but that was let me quickly go into the 15-minute chart. That was basically right here. So in this time, so here we not had any changes in the buyer index. So that is this photo right here. Then we have the next little update here. We also got rejected again at the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, as you can see in the second picture. Also, we cannot only see downside action in cryptos, we can also see it in the stock market. If that is meaning something, we will find out in the next days. And that is the second picture right here. So here you can see that the red line is the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level. Here we touched it again, but got rejected, and then we have started a downward move. You can also see that right here. That is basically this point where we have come very close to the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, and then starting the downward move. So, and the buyer index update that I have just give you is right here. So here we not had any changes. We were just going around the -10 level. Then I have the next update for you that I have also showed in today's live stream, and that is this one right here. So here you can see that was basically today till the afternoon. So we have kicked out some buyers. We have made a new low in the buyer index. So in this trend right here, that is of course first a very positive sign. You can see that also just happened today. So basically from night till the afternoon, till this photo was made right here. And here, as I said, you can see we have kicked out some buyers, made a new low. That is of course very positive sign, but I would still consider this as high. So I think from this perspective, this is not enough. And then also I have a brand new update for you right here. That is this one. And here you can see basically currently we have gone a little bit back to the upside, and I can see right now it is basically pretty exact at the level where the last bottom was. So that is where we are currently at. And as I said, I still think that this is not enough. I still think that we have a way to go right here. We have to kick out more buyers out of the market. Of course, it is very nice to see that it always continued to going down. Of course, not very fast, not like right here. So that just not happen in a couple of days. You can see right here, it takes some time. It always jumps back up, make a tiny new low, and then just bouncing around and staying in the same level. So that is something that we have seen over the last days and weeks, and that is nothing that is good or bad, that is just normal. And sometimes it takes some time, sometimes it goes very fast, sometimes it is very slow. So that is depending on the market, but I think that is not enough, and likely we will see some further correction in the buyer index. And right now that brings me directly to the next point, and that is, of course, if I think that we have not kicked out enough buyers right now, is that a sign that we could even go lower in the price in Bitcoin, for example, or maybe also in some other altcoins? And let me say something to that. That is right now where I'm in the observation mode right here, because we have hit my target. We have hit the 21 weekly moving average finally after a very, very long time. So I think, I don't know, I think last year in September, October was the last time we have visited this. So that was basically right here, yeah, on October, and that was basically the last entry where we were really here at the lowest level in the buyer index, so even lower than here after the drop in March. So that was the last time we also have touched the 21 weekly moving average. But that is something that I can see, okay, we have touched this level right now. That is a very positive sign for me, and that is the sign right now where I'm saying, okay, right now I'm in observation mode, because there can happen two things. And that is, let me show you this, for example, that the last time we have kicked out very many buyers right here, that was this market stage right here. That was, as you can see right here, that was right before October, so right before the last entry, not the last entry, but the last very big and super good entry. You can see that right here. So we have also kicked out some buyers, but we have not kicked out the majority of buyers in the downward move. We have kicked out the majority of buyers in the sideways move. So that is also something that can happen. So I think there are two probabilities right now that we can go lower, but that is speculative right now. I would say from the price chart, as long as we keep above this, or as long as we have daily candle close above the last low right here, I'm remaining that this likely will be a sideways move. But as soon as we have dropped or made a daily candle close below that level, or also below the 21 weekly moving average, then it is likely that we will drop further in the Bitcoin price, and then potential next price targets. Let me show you that. The potential next price targets are first, where is my rectangle? There it is. So that is this low right here, so the last low from the correction before the last correction. So this low right here, so that is basically at 40, let's round that a little bit to the upside, 43,000. Then directly right here we have the next high, which is at 41,800. So that would then be here the next range in which we could drop right here. And then there is also a third target, and that is from the historical data, you can see that right here we have dropped from the last all-time high till the dip yesterday. We have dropped, you can see it right here, 30.35%. And we have seen that in the last bull cycle, so that 30 to 40% correction is something that is usual and that is not unlikely. So you can see that right here, that right here was a 40% correction, 34% correction, 31, 38, 40, 30. So that means it is the most likely that we will have a 30 to 40% correction from the last high. In this case, this is the last all-time high. And that means right now we have done the 30% correction, but let's extend that to 40%. So that would be right here, that would be 39k. So that would mean that would be my lower target right here. And let me extend that right here. So, and that means this one right here, that is the price zone which I would aim for if we have the daily candle close below the last low or below the 21 weekly moving average, then I think somewhere in this range is a potential next price target to the downside right here. So that is between, what is that? That is between 40, let's round it a little bit to the upside, 43,000 to 39,000. So that is the next potential price range. That would be a good target for me from the technical perspective. But you know, guys, my most important thing right here that I'm watching is this one, is the buyer index. And when, for example, I should see, let's just imagine, I not think that this will happen, but let's just say we will go back to the levels right here, minus 50 or so. I think that is unlikely to happen, but let's just assume that as example. So when I should see that this is back at this levels right here, and then for example we are just at 43k or 42k, then I think that would be the bottom. But of course, if this should happen, then of course I will give you an update. And you saw that right here on Patreon. I'm giving very many updates on the buyer index as soon as there are changes, even after 1 or 2 days. If there are no changes, I'm also updating you, so you are always up to date right here. So if you want these updates live and in real time, and also not just market analysis, also when I'm buying, when I'm selling, so basically everything I do, so I really mean everything, fully 100%, you will get that right there on Patreon, live and in real time. That is the first link in the video description, so definitely make sure to check that out. Absolutely worth it. And in the end, I just want to point out here to the Bitcoin dominance still falling. I think this candle right here is a mistake, because that is calculated by TradingView, and sometimes when we have strong market movements, then there are some mistakes. Maybe they will correct that when they see, okay, that is wrong. I could imagine, but I think that candle is definitely not true. I don't think that Bitcoin dominance has, even if it just was shortly, I don't think that it has dropped to 34-35%. And we can see a similar mistake right here, but that is just to the upside. That's also here, total market cap in crypto, also calculated by TradingView, jumped to 3 trillion, and I not have seen that. So that is likely in both charts. Maybe it's also right here, yeah, in all of these 3 charts right here. So we not were in 2 trillion in the altcoin market cap, and we also not were at 3 trillion in the total market cap, and also not at the 35% Bitcoin market dominance. So in these 3 charts right now, we have a little mistakes right here, because the wicks of the candles are false. So that is just something that I also want to show you. But right now, Bitcoin dominance still in the downward trend. We have not seen a reversal so far. At some point that has to happen, but how that will happen is right now the next question. But here, of course, also we have to wait and see. Still, long term, I'm bearish for the whole bull market. I'm bearish on the Bitcoin dominance. Of course, as I said, we will have some reversals, some moves back to the upside, but the general trend should be a downward trend, likely all the way down to 15 to 18.5%, maybe 20%, somewhere in that range. That is my target for the Bitcoin dominance. And also, I think the fear and greed index, I have just saw that in the Discord group right here, yeah, that the fear and greed index has also dropped to 31, which is a positive sign. But let's see, maybe when the daily candle is green again, we had that the last time, the fear and greed index directly jumped back up to 70, I think. So we have to also wait for that. But that are basically just the updates that I want to give you on the markets. If you have any questions on that, then also feel free to write them down in the comments. If this video was helpful, then please leave a like. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out any future updates. And as always, the first link in the video description is my Patreon account. Definitely make sure to check that out. It is absolutely worth it. There you get all the information live and in real time. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. And as always, have a nice day.